Hi, my name is Mario Moore. I'm an artist, born and raised in Detroit, a painter, sculptor, maker.
My name is Kris Moore. I'm Mario Moore's father. I also work at the DIA. I've been here for 24 years.
It's absolutely surreal. Recent years, I've been thinking more about just being raised in this museum and around this museum, and also the influence of artwork and all the hard work that I put in. Some of my greatest art heroes are Velázquez, Kerry James Marshall. To be right around the corner from a Velázquez is amazing. To be one floor down from a Rembrandt is mind-blowing.
It's still probably more surreal to me than it is to him. It's amazing having worked here all this time and then just start watching exhibits come here with his stuff, banners outside with his face. Just pass by a Rembrandt and then you go, oh, hey, Mario's on the wall. I saw the talent coming up. I saw the hard work. I saw the schooling. Everything was art. If anybody had a shot, he did. But you figure this African-American guy here, this black kid from Detroit, I don't know. But after a while, I stopped saying, I don't know. And it was like, oh yeah, if it's gonna be anybody, it's gonna be you. You know what I mean? So here we are. Here we are.
I think for me, growing up and seeing European paintings, I've always loved the grand scale. I've always loved the storytelling. Even though there weren't any black figures, I always thought about the humanity of it, but I think it's still distant. So for me, when I think about what I'm going to make, and also what I want to see in the world, is I want to see things that reflect people that look like me, stories that are from my history, but also make it relational. It's about the here and now. So a kid coming up can be like, hey, I got those shoes, or I know that jacket, or that coffee cup. People can look at it and say, wow, this is amazing. This is in a museum, but it also feels like it's a part of me and a part of my life. You can feel like you can walk up to them and have a conversation or want to hear their stories. I think also for kids of color and all people to be able to view a group of black people sitting at a table is something that's not usually seen in art history. You know, I made it because I wanted to see it. When I was a kid, we used to look at Where's Waldo all the time.
All the time.
He'd bring all the Where's Waldo books and the papers, and we would go through that. And I think it's something really exciting about going to a painting and finding something new every single time you come to that painting.
Portrait he did of me, I went to his house, and his wife is this extraordinary photographer. So I put on the fur, I did the whole Napoleon thing, and they took several pictures from that portrait cranked out. He captures not just your physical. I look at it and say, wow, man, you knew something about me, and that looks like that look on my face, like, you know, I'm just determined to get some things done. It's been a long road, but we got a little bit more to go. It was that kind of look.
Growing up in Detroit shaped everything, not just the creative aspect of the city, which is incredibly creative, right? There's a lot of artists, right? There's the Cass Corridor area that was really popular, a lot of abstract work. My mother was showing, 90s, I would travel with her to all the openings, all the galleries. I learned how to paint in oils from a friend of hers, Richard Lewis, another Detroit painter. There's a level of compassion here and sharing with other artists that I don't find in other places. When I got into grad school at Yale and I started interacting with all these East Coast artists, they started dropping all these names, and I wasn't familiar with a lot of people they were mentioning, but I realized in that program that I was one of the hardest workers in the studio. And it's something about that hard work and that labor that's entrenched in Detroit that you carry with you wherever you go. And it was one of the main reasons I wanted to move back to Detroit after living on the East Coast. Having something in you, especially from grandma, that you are going to get things done no matter what. And I think that's really specific to Detroit. We really know how to hustle. We know how to work. That's in our DNA. Growing up with my grandma, Helen Moore being an education activist, that whole idea around Black freedom, the possibilities of what you can be as a Black person is very, very specific to Detroit. I think even when Black people from other areas come to Detroit and there's like y'all do things different here, you know? And I think that aspect has always been involved with my work, that I'm always grounded in an aspect of where I'm from. Also, this idea of labor being a huge part of my body of work, making sure the unseen are seen, and also just this idea of, again, hard work and grit being one of the biggest things.